Hey y'all, so today I'm going to be showing you a quick way that I reinforce some press-ons just so that they last longer and look a little better. I'm just showing you these little cheap press-ons that I got from SHEIN, and right here I'm just letting you see how it's sheer in between where my nail ends and where the French begins. Right there I'm just showing you a little bling nail that came with it that didn't end up fitting any of my nails. So what I do on the underside of the press-ons, I go ahead and use a primer, and then I go in with this base gel by Beetles, and I'll put a thin layer of that. You don't want it to be too bulky. Put it in the light to be cured, and this is a color that I'm gonna go in under the nail also so that it isn't as see-through, and I'm trying to show you that it does match a lot closely to the original color. So I'm just doing a thin layer here under your nail. Again, you don't want it to be too bulky to the effect that it doesn't lay flat on your natural nail. If it's still too sheer for you, you can definitely go in with a second layer after you cure this layer. But for time's sake, I did only go ahead in with one layer of this color under each of the nails after the base coat. Here I'm just showing you where I take the primer that I use, and the reason that I go in with the primer first is because I want to make sure that the base coat and the gel color all sticks to the underside of the nail. I don't want it to lift off like you'll do with a nail form if I was doing like a poly gel. So usually, you can go in with like a file or something just to give it some grit up under there to make sure that everything sticks good. But I'd rather just use a primer to make sure that everything is sticking to the nail. So here you can see where now that I've added that color under there, the nail isn't, too see-through. And when I put it on my nail bit, it doesn't have that gap between the French and where my nail ends. And this is the top coat that I'm going to be using. So what I do with the top coat under the nail is right where my natural nail would end, I'm just going to add a little top coat to right there at the tip, just because the gel color is tacky and I don't want it to start collecting dirt right there on the other side of my nail, but I do want to maintain the stickiness where it's going to go on my nail bed. So I just add a little bit of top coat right there at the tip of the nail just to make sure it isn't sticky under there. Okay, so I thought I got a clip of the nail glue that I use. It is nail lean, and for me, this is the best nail glue that I've come about over the years of doing different press-ons. Like, this glue lasts for anywhere between, for me, a week to 3 weeks with, minimum touch-ups. Like, I will probably go 2 full weeks before I need a touch-up, and that's if I properly prep my natural nails before doing my nails. At this point, I have found the happy medium in determining how much glue to put on the nail before pressing it on, so it isn't too messy and coming out of the nail, but it's also a good amount that is fully covering my nail bed and keeping everything intact. So you'll get to that point if you're not already, and I find it easier if you kind of slide the nail onto your nail bed. That kind of helps, I guess, spread the glue onto your nail, and it just helps. It helps me. also make sure you're pressing and holding that nail for anywhere between 20 to 30 seconds to make sure that the nail is dry good enough that it won't pop up after you're done holding it. So hold it for a good amount of time, put a little pressure, and make sure it's on there nice and good before letting go. So I skipped this part on the first hand that I did. I wanted to show the nail dehydrator that I use to remove any oils and whatnot, and also the nail primer that I'll go in with afterwards just to give you that tacky layer to help stick the nails on. I forgot to mention this in the beginning, but don't come for my nails. They looking a little gangster right now. They looking a little rough. I do have some discoloration on my part for being, I guess you can say, lazy when it comes time to doing my nails. If I have a little lifting, I might not get right to it right away. And when the water or any other moisture get up under there, it can definitely cause a discoloration. But it isn't any pain or infection or fungus or anything like that. It's just a little water damage, I guess you can say. But throughout the nail process, I try not to wash my nails or introduce any water because it can take away from the adhesion as well. Now I'm just showing you the nail glue or gel that I use to adhere my stones. You've seen the same nail glue and stones in previous videos if you have seen them. And if you haven't seen them, then go ahead and watch a few of my other videos just to, get a little bit of an idea of what I do and how I do it when it comes to applying my stones. I was gonna go full bling, but then I was like, it's simple, it's elegant, it's press-ons. I'll just do a cute little cuticle cuff just to give it a little pizzazz or whatever. Then I was contemplating on putting like a larger stone at I guess the C curve of the French. But, after looking at it, because I didn't cure them or anything, I was just testing it out. After looking at it, it just wasn't a go for me, so I decided to take them off. Okay, so now that I'm done with the stones, I'm going back in with the primer, and the reason I use it a lot with press-ons is because with the press-on, especially if it has a design on it, you don't want to go in buffing it to give you some grit. So I'll go in with a primer just to give it that tacky layer so that your top coat can stick, and sometimes that'll even start peeling. So what I've learned or started doing is I'll go with a base gel over top of this primer, and then I'll do a top coat. And not only does that help with keeping the top coat on and making the nails shinier, but it also give it a little more strength so the nails, if they are bendy, this will help them from being bendy, if that makes any sense, or breaking. When it comes to top coating, I'm super generous. I love having a super shiny, smooth finish. So I'm definitely going in and I'm trying to make sure that I don't let it spill over into my sidelines before curing it. But I'm definitely, trying to get them nice and thick because I just love when they thick and shiny afterwards. I know y'all know about bio oil, but I use it for everything. I use it for cuticle oil, I use it on my feet, my face for dermaplaning. It's just amazing at everything. But here I'm just showing you the finished product. These are my French tip press-on nails. They're reinforced, so of course they're a little more special. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something from it, and if you did, please subscribe and share. And I thank you for watching. And again, if you did enjoy this video, come back for the next one because I'm definitely going to keep coming with them. Thanks and bye.